Super Smash Bros. Melee, the ultimate Nintendo fighter game filled with all kinds of Nintendo characters. It was released on November 21st, 2001 in Japan and December 3rd, 2001 in North America, shortly after the GameCube's launch. And then the following year in Europe and Australia. The game has sold over 7 million copies and is the best-selling GameCube game ever, and that's for a good reason. The game was great, it was a blast to play and had loads of different game modes, characters, collectibles, maps, and was a lot of fun to play with friends. But it also has loads of removed content. Actually, a surprising amount of content was removed, from maps to entire intro animations. So you know what? Let's take a look at some of that removed content, since we have a couple of interesting ones to show off. Let's start with some unused stages. First up, a stage called Dummy. This stage crashes the game, though there are codes that can force it to load. The entire stage is pitch black, with a single invisible platform at the center of the stage. But for some reason we kept falling in this stage and didn't spawn on the platform. It's impossible to get KO'd here, as there are no blast lines, unlike all other stages in the game. This level was most likely some sort of test level, maybe to test the platforms where the characters walk on, since this is the only thing in the stage. But it didn't really work out for us, as you can see. Next stage, Test. A large stage with untextured platforms, a few pits and floating platforms. Some of them move vertically and some of them move horizontally. The music that plays on this stage is borrowed from the Corneria stage. It also features a backdrop of a coffee shop, therefore earning the stage nicknames such as the coffee shop, the bar, or the pub. This backdrop is commonly used in 3D graphics, such as early editions of the OpenGL programming guide. Now this is most likely a more advanced test stage, since it has a lot of different things, like the pits and the floating platforms. They probably used it later on in development to test new level features to see if they would work.
Now, they also made some changes to one map, since their ideas didn't completely work out as intended. In earlier versions of the game, the lab in the Termina map, also known as Great Bay, could be entered and stood on top. The idea was eventually scrapped and the laboratory was closed and moved to the background, no longer being part of the arena. However, the lab still has some textures and models of the pipes inside of it, likely remnants from the initial idea. The reason why they left it out is unknown. It could have been that it didn't fit in the stage and would make it a weird feature. But to be honest, we have no idea. Something else that was removed without a reason are character intros, and they actually looked amazing. Within the debug menu are unused, second-long intro sequences for all 25 characters, presumably intended for All-Star mode. This is also the only way to view the opponent portraits for Sheik, Ganondorf, and Roy, as they're never fought in Classic mode. The weird thing is, these intros are flawless and could have been used in the final game without a single problem. So it's a real shame that they removed them, since it would have been a nice touch. Now for our next scrapped feature, we'll look at Giga Bowser. To encounter him, all previous stages in the mode have to be completed in under 18 minutes and a normal difficulty or higher. In Melee, Giga Bowser appears as a hidden final boss. If done correctly, a new cutscene will be shown after Giant Bowser is defeated, his trophy will return to the stage and be struck by lightning, causing it to come back to life as Giga Bowser. Giga Bowser then opens his mouth and the fight begins. Defeating Giga Bowser leads to the completion of the adventure mode. Defeating him without using a continue also rewards the player with a trophy. If the game is hacked through the use of the debug menu through an action replay, it is possible to use Giga Bowser as a character. Giga Bowser is mostly functional, and his name is even displayed on the Jumbotron in Pokemon Stadium as G. Bowser. Due to the lack of victory poses to display for him on the result screen, the game will usually crash if Giga Bowser wins a match due to a panic event being called. When the game is played on the Dolphin emulator and panic events are deliberately suppressed, the game will not freeze and the result screen will appear. The game, however, will display Sheik's name in red, and Giga Bowser's stock icon will be a target. The announcer, however, will properly say Giga Bowser's name. So he's probably planned as some sort of alternate character that you could play. Maybe you unlocked him after he was defeated. It would have been a great feature, but no worries, he is playable in the next game. Another fun fact about one of the playable characters is that Mr. Gaiman Watch is actually a 3D model, not a 2D one. Mr. Gaiman Watch is a full 3D model like all the other characters. He's only flat because the game runs a flattening coat on him at all times, like how everyone else is flattened on the flat zone stage. The grey outline is done by having a larger shell model with its normals pointed inwards so the inside is seen instead of the outside.
Now, most things we've talked about so far were removed features, characters and stages, but they also removed some mistakes from the game. And for this we will look at the trophy of Daisy, since they made a mistake here, which wasn't removed in some versions of the game. In the Japanese and early American versions, positioning the camera through her hair in the back of the Daisy trophy reveals a third eye, which looks totally different from her other two. This was fixed in the North American Player's Choice versions. This was a pretty weird and silly mistake, since the third eye isn't even something related to Daisy. And after looking through the characters and a lot of the trophies, we couldn't even find a character that uses this eye. So we have no idea where it came from. I guess we will never know. Oh well. Now before you walk off the stage, I need to tell you something. Be sure to subscribe to our channel and check out the other videos we made, cause we have lots more. Lots more. You'll enjoy it, believe me, just check it out, just check it out.